Hey, you're watching Vinyl for Miles, your best resource for music and vinyl reviews. I'm Michael, and today we're going to be looking at the brand new album from the Get Up Kids, Problems. We're going to give a quick overview, take a listen, and give my review of this amazing album. Stay tuned. Alright, today's the day. Get Up Kids' brand new album, Problems, is out today. This is their 6th full-length studio album. So Get Up Kids is an American rock or emo band from Kansas City, Missouri. They formed in 1995 and they were one of the godfathers of the second wave of emo music. Now I'm talking about original emo music. I'm not talking about the mid-2000s scene emo music or screamo. I'm talking about Jimmy Eat World, Juliana Theory, the Get Up Kids, River City High, Piebald, all these bands that were on these smaller labels in the late 90s, early 2000s. So I've been a Get Up Kids fan for a very long time. I got into them when I was in middle school, around 1999, and the first album I ever got from the Get Up Kids, I actually ordered through the mail. Now, a lot of you younger people out there might not know this, but back before I had internet and a lot of people had internet in their homes, everything was done through mail catalogs. So I was on Doghouse, Vagrant, Victory Records. I was on all of their mailing lists, and when I would get their mailing catalogs, I would go through and check off which CDs I wanted to get. CDs or cassettes, because I used to get cassettes back then too. I would check off all the CDs and cassettes I want. I would get my allowance or whatever job I was working, put a check in the envelope, mail it off, and patiently wait 1 to 2 weeks for my order to come. So the first CD I ever had from the Get Up Kids was 4 Minute Mile, and I fell in love with it. It was so cool. I was really into pop punk at the time, and this took more of a twist on the pop punk with some cooler guitar riffs, and there's a lot more texture to the music than I was used to. After 4 Minute Mile, I picked up Something to Write Home About, which I have on this special edition right here. This is one of my all-time favorite albums, and there's even a turntable on the back. So let's get into Problems. I think I talked enough about how I got into their music. But Problems marks the 6th full-length studio album from the Get Up Kids. What's special about this record is they're kind of going back to their roots. It's going to be more punk influence, pop punk influence, emo influence, alternative rock. There's a lot of genres put into this one. So let's dive into the good. The mix on the album is excellent. The drums sound awesome. The bass really cuts through on the mix as well. There's also some really cool moments on the keyboards that are reminiscent of the first 3 albums on this. And another great thing about this album is the vocal performance is spot on. So it's really dynamic to have the lead vocalist change throughout the album. So kudos to Matt and Jim for maintaining their vocals for this long. It sounds excellent. So let's talk about the bad real quick. There's not a whole lot of bad on this record. The songs keep your attention, it's high energy, but the one area as a Pro Tools engineer, producer, and songwriter, what I can pick out is some of the vocals have clipping on it. It's a long way down. Now, you can clip vocals on purpose with distortion filters, or you can clip them on accident if you have the input of the microphone too high and you're singing too close to the microphone, it can clip the audio. I have a feeling with a band this size and a band with a career this long, the clipping's on purpose. I'm not a huge fan of clipping, especially with these 2 vocalists, how good their voice is. But again, this is a punk influenced album. There are no rules with punk, and if that's what they were going for, cool. That's the only nitpick I have on this record. Okay, so let's dive into the vinyl. So the release I got is the Early Bird Special. It comes on light blue and pink starburst, I think it is. The album cover has a really cool painting of flamingos on it, and Problems for the LP is actually not printed on the album itself. It's a sticker. So here's the record if you want to take a look. Really cool cover. It's not a gatefold, and on the back we have this really cool balloon and all of the song tracks on there. The record sleeve itself has Problems in electrical tape, it looks like, really big. Then on the back we have all of the lyrics and all of the thanks. So the Early Bird copy that I purchased, and by the way, Polyvinyl Records, huge shout out to them. They're one of the only labels out right now that are only charging like 20 bucks for the record on 180 gram. Has a special variant, and it comes with all kinds of cool stuff. They send you stickers, guitar picks, whatever. So the Early Bird Special came with a Get Up Kids album zine. And if you guys aren't familiar with what a zine is, it's basically just like a mini self-published magazine. Back when I used to listen to this music in middle school and high school. I would go to all the shows and they would have show zines or label zines at each one of the merch booths. You would take it home with you. It would have all kinds of cool stuff about their tour or what albums are coming out with the label. So this is a real cool throwback to late 90s, early 2000s. And this album zine just has, lyrics in here and some stories about the record and some really cool production shots of them recording the album. This was an excellent touch, especially for a band that was big in the late 90s, early 2000s. This really hits home with the time period that their popularity grew. The record also came with a cool sticker, label sticker from Polyvinyl, and a download card. Now let's look at the record itself. All right, so here she is in all her glory. She is in all her glory. She is in all her glory. All right, so here she is in all her glory. This is the 180 gram light blue pink starburst. So on the front label, we have all the track listings. On the back label, we have a bunch of electrical tape. This is just beautiful. The two colors blend together very well, and it does remind me of cotton candy. If you take a look at that, as a kid growing up, I used to always get the blue and pink swirl cotton candy. Before you put this record on, or any record that's brand new these days, just make sure you give it a real nice clean before you pop it on and use a static brush to get rid of any static electricity. So I think overall, the vinyl release is insane. For $24, look at how much stuff you get. I can't believe that this label charges that little for all of what you get. All right, so let's talk about some of my favorite tracks off this record. All this music is taken directly off my Audio-Technica LP5 with a Ortophone 2M red cartridge. My first pick is going to be The Problem Is Me. The great thing about this song is it really takes me back to 4 Minute Mile. It has a really cool groove on it, and Matt's vocals really take me back to the late 90s.
Maybe the problem is me. I do to always replay over and over again. I'm working hard not to throw you under the...
My second pick is going to be Common Ground. I think this is the most diverse track on this entire album. Common Ground has this really cool drum and bass groove on it, and the way the vocals and guitars are mixed on this just sound killer, and there's also some real nice keyboards and piano on this one. My last pick is going to be Waking Up Alone. It would be between Waking Up Alone and Satellite. Satellite's really good, but Waking Up Alone, it has a groove to it. Reminds me of 10 Minutes off of Something to Write Home About. Jim's vocals just sound really, really cool on this track.
You can't get mad at me when my body doesn't work the way my brain has it to. So good on ya. You gotta. I just need a reminder what you do to me. Now everything that's easy is fine. No, it never gets easier. Waking up alone. Now my satellite. Orbiting the world alone. Tell me I'm coming home today. Satellite. Knowing I'm the only one. After all said and done.
Alright, so that's it. That's Problems from the Get Up Kids. I highly recommend it. Go out there and buy it. Get the early bird edition. Well, it's not early bird anymore, but get this edition. There's only 1,200 of these with the light blue and pink starburst. It sounds excellent. It's 100% worth the money. A great album. This is one of my favorite albums of 2019. 2019 so far has seen so many good releases. As a music fan, I couldn't be more happy. So here's my rating. And this is the first time on this channel I've given this high of a rating, but music-wise, I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. And for the vinyl, I'm going to have to stick with a 3.5 out of 5 just because of the issues I had with the noise in the beginning. But again, after you clean it, it goes up to a solid 4. So all in all, excellent album. Check it out. If you like my review, check out my other videos, give me a subscribe, and let me know what you want to hear next. All right? Thanks, guys.